as I started cutting out these pieces, I got a little worried because I realized that most of them are very complete shapes in themselves and don't have any cutout areas other than probably what I would usually use the scissors for. And then I realized these little petals of the lotus or lily flower are kind of a pain to get in there with the scissors. I'm having to bend the paper and twist a little bit. So they would probably be more appropriate to cut with an X-Acto knife. And there's not really much to tell you about how to cut with an X-Acto knife. It's just practice. You want to try and probably have as smooth a line as you possibly can, which actually, like I said, I can actually cut much smoother than I can draw the line. And so you just pull it through in a motion like that. And then you want to really get the little end bit, so because if you tear it out and it's too rough, you will see it in the photography, which we will talk about later, how the photography shows all the little bits that in real life you don't really notice. So then you just pull out that piece. And if you notice when you're cutting with an X-Acto knife, I'm not sure if it'll show up, but this is my drawing line. And I'm cutting on the same line as the same side as my drawing line, but that's actually the wrong side of the paper. So that when I flip it over, the piece that comes out the right way has no markings. It's clean and it just is a cleaner line. The one exception to having a smooth line is if you were cutting out just a small circle. And then what I find is it's actually easier to cut in kind of a series of square, I don't know if that square is the right word, but straight cuts. And you're cutting almost like a hexagon shape. This is only 6, so just a, I don't know what you call it, septagon. And then, because if you try to cut a circle that small, it's never going to come out. And when you look at it, and once you've embossed it, your eye will make it into a circle in any case. And you probably can't see, but as I was cutting that, I broke the tip off my X-Acto knife. And that's actually not a bad thing, I've found, because once you break it, it's really, really sharp. And so I usually can keep working with it for quite a bit. That's probably part of why I don't replace my blade as often as some people do. And this is probably as good a time to say that what I do with my blades is I just have this little sharps container that I put the broken ones in there, and then I pull out a new one. It's only about 1/3 of the way full, and I've been doing this for a couple of years. And then I guess when it's full, I'll probably just find a doctor's office that I can send it in for sharps with. And that way I just keep track of it. I know some people will throw out their blades as soon as they break it, but I would go through a million blades. And like I said, I actually find it's a really, really sharp edge after you break the tip. See, I'm not pulling through the paper at all. I'm not getting any snags because that is a sharp tip. And it's no problem with it just popping out after.